All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this video walkthrough of the How to Write an Essay cheat sheet. Whether you love essays, hate them, or you just want a refresher, you are in the right place. This video will hopefully help you understand not only how to structure your essays for this course, but also how to write strong, effective academic essays across the board. Essay writing is the absolute foundation, the bedrock of academic discourse. You're going to be doing it across your entire university career and beyond. It is a skill that will follow you into your professional life, trust me. So the time you spend sharpening this skill will absolutely pay off. All right, let's just get right into it. So here is what your essay will generally look like. You have an introduction paragraph, a body paragraph. For this class, you'll roughly have 3, so that's why I have that there. And your conclusion paragraph. Also, this does include a bibliography at the end, and likewise, this structure works for both argumentative and research-based essays. These are 2 different types of essays in this course, which we'll get to as we move along. All right, let's start with the introduction. This paragraph does 3 key things. 1, it grabs your reader's attention. That's your hook. 2, it builds context and sets the stage. That's your transition. And 3, it clearly states what your essay will argue or explore. That is your thesis statement. Some examples of hooks are asking a provocative question, telling a short story or an anecdote, using a clever or relevant quote, or starting with a bold statement. From that, you will need to transition smoothly into your thesis, which is the central focus of your entire essay. All right, your thesis statement. I cannot stress this enough. This is the most important sentence in your entire essay. It tells you, or tells your reader, I should say, what you're arguing or what you're trying to find out and how you'll go about doing this and or quote unquote proving it. Here's generally a simple formula, particularly for this course, but you can have the statement read first, title by author, second, argument or research question, and third, 3 supporting points. I give 2 examples here. This could be, again, argumentative or research-based. Everything in your essay should tie back to your thesis. Let me say that again. Everything in your essay should tie back to your thesis. So here we've got an argumentative example, which is usually 1 sentence, declarative, detailed, firmly opinionated. Research example might be 1 to 2 sentences if you're throwing in a question mark. Again, on the How to Write an Essay page on Canvas, I give more detailed examples there, so look to that. That is more nuanced. Again, still detailed, but deeply considerate. Body paragraphs. Body paragraphs are the meat of your essay. Each one should focus on one of the supporting points you've listed in your thesis. So, start each paragraph with an introductory sentence that clearly states what the paragraph is about. I give an example here. Then, introduce your evidence, quote from your text, analyze the quote, explain how it supports your argument and or research question. This is a rough skeleton for how you can tackle your body paragraphs. Then each paragraph should end with a conclusion sentence that either reaffirms your stance, which would be argumentative, or answers a smaller question, which would be research-based. Remember, always cite your sources, even if it's my lectures. And broadly, you really need to provide analysis, not summary. I know what happened. I want to hear what you think. All right, so let's bring it all home with a conclusion paragraph. Here is the formula out of everything in this overview. I personally believe the conclusion paragraph is the most formulaic. So here we go. 1, paraphrase your thesis statement. This is your first sentence. 2, Summarize the main points of your body paragraphs. That will likely be a couple of sentences, probably 3 if you have 3 body paragraphs. And again, I like to do these as the conclusion sentences. And then 3, end with a strong final thought. This is what is called a call to action, but really just means broader reflection, global thinking, etc. So, for example, if it's a research essay, your final sentence should answer your research question that you have in your thesis statement. But if it's an argumentative essay, it should firmly restate why your argument holds. It needs to maybe not restate, but I would say reaffirm. It needs to be, and here's why I am right. Okay. And don't forget your bibliography. You need to separate your primary sources from your secondary sources. If you don't know the difference, primary sources are the text you are analyzing, i.e., the assigned stories and literature in this course. And a secondary source is your scholarly research, your journals, your essays, your articles that you have to look up on your own time. Okay, just a quick list of some common errors. I really shouldn't have to say these, but it does beg to be repeated, so I will. But let's avoid these common errors pretty please. So, 1, no personal pronouns in your essays. You can do this in other essays at different varying levels of where you are in academia, but for this course, please do not use personal pronouns. That would be I, we, you, etc. If you have any numbers in your essay writing, please spell them out. Format your block quotes correctly. Again, I give more examples of this on the How to Write an Essay Canvas page, so look to that. Capitalize all literary movements, such as like Romanticism, Modernism, etc. Never use the editor's name as the author. It's a big one. Use double quotes for quotes, so that's the quotation marks with 2 lines, but single quotes are for quotes inside quotes. That sounds like a jumble, but you can go and check out on the Canvas page for a cleaner representation of that. And lastly, just titles of books are italicized. Poems and short stories are in quotes. Title formatting is a really big thing that constantly gets overlooked or missed. So please make sure you have this accurate. And to wrap up, I mean, don't worry, honestly. Essay writing can feel really intimidating. I completely get it, but you're not alone. I've given you this cheat sheet, this formula. Again, you've all come from comp courses, so you're not coming from nothing, but I'm giving you my version of what I like to see in this course. So I'm really trying to assist you as much as possible. You're not alone. You've got this. Follow the outline, keep your thesis as your guide, and do not hesitate to reach out with any questions. And I'm serious about this. This is what I'm here for. Great. Well, thanks for watching and happy writing, everyone.